The butterfly is a sign of new life, representing death as a transformation, not a finality, a sign of hope for those who experience the pain of grief when they have lost somebody dear to them. My name is Richard. Susan was my sister in this life. My earliest childhood memories of her is when she broke a wooden tea-set chair over my head. She was a tough cookie from the beginning. She was 13 months older than I, and I can remember her protecting me. She had very long hair as a child. She was very bright and full of energy. When Susan was 10 years old, my mother and my other sister were in a very bad car accident. Susan was severely injured. The frontal portion of her brain had to be removed, but Sister Susan survived, her spirit intact. Our family was in major conflict over this accident. The balance of Susan's life was coping with these injuries through adolescence into midlife. Sister Susan was in another major car accident when she was 52 years old. The doctor stated, had it been you or I, we would not have survived. However, because of Susan's first car accident, there was space in her head to accommodate the bleeding and pressure. Susan's injury was a broken back, head injuries, and a broken leg, but Susan survived, her spirit intact. My wife Rhea and myself had finally found a home for Susan. In January of this year, Sister Susan was diagnosed with terminal liver cancer. Sister Susan did not survive. On July 22nd, 2005, at 11:20 p.m., she passed away. Sister Susan endured an enormous amount of pain, but people who knew Susan would all agree that she was full of energy, and she could be so sweet at times. I am proud to have been her brother in this life. My wife Rhea loved Susan so very much. We were both in awe over the amount of suffering she had to endure. I asked myself, why did Susan have to suffer so much? The answer is, I don't know, but I do know that her soul is free now.
I have a little story to tell. I am an 83-year-old woman. My name is Eleanor. I started to paint at the age of 78 after I lost my beloved daughter. Susan to cancer. I didn't think I could go on, but my son Richard helps me to cope. He bought the paints and the paper, and I started my therapy. He said it would help me to get my feelings out. He was right. I feel so relaxed, and when I am painting, all the tragedy and problems of my life are resolved for the moment. It seemed that my life has been one heartache after another. I started to paint flowers and trees, learning how to draw and my colors. I have learned that colors and images are really my feelings and emotions, and that is what I am expressing in my paintings. One day, I painted a large butterfly. When my son saw it, he said, "Ma, that's beautiful. Why don't you paint more?" So I did, smaller ones. As I was painting them, I felt so calm and peaceful. So when I reflect over the loss of my daughter, I would paint a butterfly. All my hurt would melt away. It is so wonderful to feel good about what I am doing. And I hope when the other people are viewing my butterfly paintings that it helps them deal with their pain and loss. The butterfly is a sign of new life, representing death as transformation, nor a finality. A sign of hope for those who experience the pain of grief when they have lost someone dear to them.